So welcome back. We're going to take a little bit of a look at health, which I think is really interesting. So inside of settings, you can see here how telemetry works. So when you want to calculate and look at your apps, what you can do is you can add internal apps within here and kind of collect their application telemetry data. You can do the same thing with your Workspace ONE apps already by default. Desktop telemetry, once you've enabled it, it's just going to help collect, so that's not a big deal. And you can see here that we've already enabled that Workspace ONE UEM connection. So what's really interesting is you can kind of come in and you can modify experience scores. So you can say, if let's change this and say, if 1% of apps crash, that's bad. If 0.75, you hit save. And so this now modifies these on what's a good, neutral, and bad crash rate. Same thing with hangs. You can see our mobile app experience scores. They talk about app crashes, handled exceptions, network errors, app loads, response times, that kind of stuff. And device health, kind of the same idea. And then you have your organizational experience score, which takes all these different experience scores and helps you decide whether or not your company is doing good or well. So, we say 20% of people have a bad experience score. Now we're, are we good or bad? Which is pretty neat. Now let's go back to our dashboard and we'll talk a little bit more about device health in general. So if you click here under view, it takes you into your device health, which is pretty neat here. So let's see what this buys us. So we're going to go into OS crashes. We'll dig into that. And this is actually going to put together some statistics for us to help us take a look. So this shows you how many crashes we've had, the crash rate, that kind of thing. OS versions, what device models, what caused the crash. And like I said, this is really kind of neat and interesting. So you can kind of drill into that. Shows you makes and models and that kind of stuff. And so that's from the last 28 days. And you can see the device type, how many occurrences it's had. And so it's really gathering some really neat data to help you understand what's going on as far as device health. And I wanted to kind of help you see that, help you understand. And then you can even look at stuff like shutdown time, which is another key characteristic. And this focuses on, and we're not going to get much information in here, but like you can see it focuses on, if it's a shutdown and it's longer than this and it's not a Mac, how do we, what do we think? Because they don't have Macs in here yet into DEEM, but it's coming. And you've also got boot time to kind of go along with that same deal. Then we can, again, we can look at, different errors and OS crashes. And it's really kind of neat because it's now taking all this data together, grouping it up, and actually building, essentially scores of your devices out of it to truly, evaluate that user experience. And that's kind of the real point. Because then you want to see, so we have a device which has a very poor user experience score. And that's kind of how it calculated it. And so what you could do from here, create yourself an incident again. And so this person has a poor experience score. You can add comments, about talk about following up with them, stuff like that. And then you can also, what you would do is now from here you would go and you would probably create automations to say, I want to say communicate to a ticket, create a ticket, whatever you want to do. And it's just a really good way to kind of start looking at what you're doing. And as things come now and work, and some of the new stuff coming that was just announced at VMworld, you're going to be able to do some kind of root cause analysis and some even better things to make it really exciting.